Nick Bollettieri, Wendy Stewart, girlfriend of Andre Agassi, in the friends box, as Andre Agassi has made a miraculous recovery. Seemed well out of it after losing the first set 6-2. And suddenly it's Wheaton's game that's going off. And despite the fact that Agassi is not moving 100%, he leads 5-love in the second.
Love 15.
Well, Wheaton gets a good first serve here. He's extended well, but he gets in a little bit too casual. He's a big guy, about 6'4". He's got to bend his knees and get a little lower.
Oh, my.
Love 30.
Agassi moves a little bit better, but here he holds it till the very last minute. Wheaton moves forward, camps out on the net. Agassi with a topspin lob.
I would suppose someone like Agassi, though he might not be able to move as well because he has such an assortment of trick shots, he can do anything at any angle with, treats that racket like a baton. Get away with some things. This
15,
is where he'll call upon whatever he has, and he has some good material.
Well, even though Wheaton had dominated the first set, winning at 6-2, the second set now, Agassi has kept Wheaton guessing. He doesn't know if he's going to pass him, topspin lob him, hit him with a little dink angle around the net. Agassi's picked up his game. Wheaton is not concentrating as he did before. Lost his feel.
But fault is the call. A rare call at Wimbledon.
Richard, the line is, you can't even see it. There's no way. There's no way. No, I never stepped on the line. Never put fault in my life. Huh? I know, but you can't even see the line, so it's unfair completely. Why don't we paint the lines a proper color or make them so you can see them at least before we start calling footballs?
Well, I think they are a proper color for grass, aren't they, Bud?
I think so. But I like the excuse. I mean, you should have said that when you were arguing. I never hit a ball out in my life.
Didn't I say that?
Yeah, probably.
So 2 points for Agassi to
15.
toss a bagel at Wheaton here in the second. What a complete reversal in this match. Wheaton, the man who excused Ivan Lendl from Wimbledon this year. And his game has gone off. Winner of this plays the winner of Becker-Forget tomorrow.
Agassi leads 5 games.
Welcome back to Wimbledon Center Court. Andre Agassi, David Wheaton, the match statistics. Wheaton not serving well, 52%, has 4 more winners than Agassi, but 15 more errors. Has just a handful of aces. Actually, that ace count is up to a total of 5-6 now, as Agassi serves for the third set at 5-3.
What a flip-flop.
Love 15.
Wheaton is done. Coasting in the first set. Was up 40-15 in the fourth game of this set. But Agassi, running brilliantly, scooped up a drop volley for the break. And I wonder, Jimmy, if Wheaton, seeing Agassi twice visited by the trainer, wasn't distracted and thought Andre was finished.
Love 30.
He's been in enough big matches to know that he should not let that bother him. Sometimes it does enter into your mind, but this is the quarterfinals of Wimbledon, Bud.
So you try to stop the guy.
Oops. So Agassi kind of carrying that right leg to the net with him. A half step slow in that volley, and he bangs it long for 3 breakers for Wheaton.
First service.
Wheaton, who uses a little split grip on that backhand that goes back to his hockey days.
15-40.
That's the same guy from the point before who missed the high forehand volley, but here he moves in a little bit closer. See how he comes down under the ball? It just makes the ball die once it hits the grass.
So 2 chances to stay in this third set for Wheaton. Lost, and now 1 big opportunity left to get back on serve. And that's gone.
Whoa! He reached back for it and hummed it.
Deuce.
Well, it's a big serve by Agassi, but Wheaton didn't jump out there and stroke his return. He kind of poked at it.
Now Agassi 2 points from a 2-set-to-1 lead.
Advantage Agassi.
This isn't the same David Wheaton that played Ivan Lendl
Or
off
played
his feet.
in the first set. Gosh.
First service.
He broke Agassi first game of the match, third game of the match, broke him again easily, cruised to a 6-2 win. Has won 3 games since.
Deuce.
Coach Bollettieri, an influence in both of these players' young lives, with Wendy Stewart, a good friend now of Agassi.
They've changed sunglasses.
Andre Agassi said he does not have a sunglass deal. You remember seeing him in the yellow glasses earlier this week, but Coach Bollettieri does.
Changes on the hour.
Out.
A late call, but a correct
Advantage
one.
Agassi.
Agassi fainting heart palpitations.
First service.
Agassi went to Bollettieri's camp at 13, Wheaton at 16. Wheaton to get out of the cold of Minnesota, where he could get more action, be outdoors, take advantage of the 12-month weather. Game. So Agassi has the third set. Andre Agassi. What a recovery. Leads 2-1. Center court, Wimbledon. The shadows growing out to meet the sidelines on the right side of Andre Agassi. That right thigh attended to early in the match, late in the first set.
15
But
love.
didn't seem to bother Agassi as he breezed through a 6-love second set and 6-3 in the third. Up a break here in the fourth, but that break taken back in the 8th game, and now 4-5.
Love.
Well, Agassi can hit the ground strokes from anywhere in the court and all over the court. He flicks his wrist on the forehand. He comes up on a two-handed backhand and can go either way. The last couple games, Agassi has not been moving
40
quite
love.
as well. I think his injury is getting a little bit worse.
What shots does that injury affect most?
Well, not his forehand.
Well, we can eliminate these one by one if you wish. What should it affect most?
It's hurting the push off on his serve. You know, to get the good forward motion. I think that's taking a little bit of pace off his shots, off his serve, I should say. And also in the returns, he's not, even though he has the chance to swipe at the ball, he's not in position like he should.
Wheaton now 5-all. Match is just a little over 2 hours long.
Love 15.
Wheaton told us a great story last year. He said when he was playing hockey for Christmas when he was 14, they had a couple of sled dogs, and his parents gave him a sled for Christmas, and the dogs would actually pull him across Lake Minnetonka on his ice skates, and he would just skate across being pulled by his sled dogs and go to practice.
He should have stuck to ice skates. You know, at Stanford, he had a very serious accident roller skating.
Look how low Agassi keeps the returns. Wheaton has to get down a little bit lower, also one or two steps closer to the net.
Of 30, and now a second serve.
He got out of control on roller skates, tried to stop himself, put his arm through a window, and cut himself very badly. He was a little worried about his tennis for a while.
Ooh.
Ace on the second ball as he sliced that one wide for number
15-30.
10. Yeah, he was out over 6 months. He couldn't play, and looks back on that moment as being one that he was fortunate that what more serious damage wasn't done to tendons.
All.
Agassi flipping a return with some good speed on it, but here he's a little bit slow off the mark. Once he gets going, he's okay. He's having trouble pushing off with his right foot. But Wheaton also won that point with a drop volley, but what a dangerous time to do that. 15-30 down.
Oh.
30,
12
40.
double faults. Agassi, who had 3 chances to break and serve it out in the 7th game, now has a break point for the same opportunity.
I don't think Agassi is going to do anything different here. He's going to step in and try to go for one big return.
Deuce.
Well, Las Vegas intently watching their favorite son. He's not the first to succeed out of that city in this sport or to seek a Wimbledon championship. Las Vegas born Jack Kramer won a Wimbledon title.
47.
Advantage Agassi.
But Wheaton has continuously gone to the Agassi forehand on his second serve. Once again, he pays the price.
Deuce.
Nick Bollettieri, coach of both men in their early teens. Wendy Stewart, brother Phil on the right.
Well, I guess it's tough to say if there's an injury or not.
Advantage,
This
Agassi.
is a heck of a drop volley, almost drop volley by Wheaton, but Agassi off the mark in a hurry that time. Gets there in plenty of time. Wheaton looking for the down the line, but Agassi wisely goes cross court.
Boy, what a sorcerer.
There it is. Andre Agassi serves for the semifinals. Trainer Bill Norris out to examine the left ankle of
Quiet,
David
please, ladies and
Wheaton this time. Wheaton wanted him to test it, and they worked on it a bit, and Wheaton continues as Agassi serves for the match.
Love 15.
Agassi serving with new balls. It's a big advantage on grass. Ball stays a little bit lower, comes off the court a little bit quicker.
$15 all.
The winner plays again tomorrow. Wendy Stewart, hands folded, almost prayerful for
First
her
service.
friend Andre Agassi. Boris Becker meets the winner tomorrow in the semis.
Well, he deserves it.
30-15.
Agassi here gives him an opportunity to get to the net, but instead he hits a drop shot lob. I've never seen one of those before. A little bit too high. Agassi had plenty of time.
That was a mentally spent shot of Wheaton's, I think. Oh, good.
30 all.
Second double fault. Wheaton a point away from a tiebreak. Somehow David Wheaton's still alive.
6 games all, fourth set.
It was a good return by
Tiebreak.
Wheaton. He kept the ball low, but Agassi stepped around his backhand and hammered a forehand up the line. Just catching the tape.
Whom do you favor in this
Quiet, please,
tiebreak?
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Well, the way Agassi's been returning is pretty hard to beat, but Wheaton's serve has found its rhythm.
1-0, Wheaton.
Fourth of July, no picnic for this young man from Minnesota. But he's still there. When it looked as if he certainly would be long showered by now. Oh, what a shot! Andre the Ripper.
Too casual a volley.
Well, a smart play.
1-0.
He should have gone the other way. Agassi just stayed there, prepared for the backhand, and that's the hardest shot I've seen in this championships.
Boy, the racket speed he generates. His timing is just so perfect. Oh, it's good. And that gives Wheaton The
2-1
first lead
Wheaton.
of this tiebreak.
Wheaton getting into it. He's fought back in this fourth set from a breakdown.
Wheaton.
A little shake of the head by his friend Wendy.
Yeah, a little nervous time in the Agassi camp.
Fingernails on toast.
It's wide. Wheaton leads 4 points to 1.
4-1 Wheaton.
Well, that was this is a smart play by Agassi. You haven't seen him do this too much this match. He takes his backhand, plays it down the line, and comes in behind it. Caught Wheaton looking a little bit. He didn't quite go for a tough enough shot. He knows it.
Wheaton.
So Wheaton with a mini break lead. Agassi's 2 serves now, 4 points to 3. Not dissimilar to what we observed earlier when Guy Forget had his opportunities against Boris Becker with the lead but couldn't hold that advantage.
Wheaton was called for 1 foot fault. He's perilously close.
But a new football judge at that end.
5-3 Wheaton.
And if Wheaton can refrain from any errors on his service points, he will see himself into a 5th set. Almost 7 o'clock, as you can see, behind Wheaton, London time.
Well, he stays behind the line.
6-3 Wheaton.
3 set points now for Wheaton.
Well, earlier he looked so dejected, but he's fought back well.
First service. Set Wheaton, 7 games to 6.
So we go to a 5th set.
Two sets all.
Well, Wheaton was smart to play a little slice backhand to change the pace.
Yeah, we're a new person then.
And now that entry to Agassi will really be tested. 3 break points to go 5-2 and serve out that 4th set, but Wheaton rallies and now into the 5th, and Agassi with that injury. We'll see if he can maintain, or is it Wheaton on a roll?
that a wheat roll?
It may be. Caught the line. So that long rally, much as they must have hit with each other as teenagers at the Bolletary Academy.
Love 15.
Better ground strokes from Wheaton the last 4 or 5 games. He's picked up his game, not only his serve and volley, but also his ground strokes.
He seemed to give himself a transfusion in that 2-4 game. Down love 40. He had double faulted twice to go down love 40 and then served 2 aces and somehow extricated himself.
15-30. His former buddies at Bolletari's have really been rough on Andre this summer. Jim Courier knocks him out of the French Open final, takes the title away as the underdog, and now here's David Wheaton trying to dismiss him from this quarterfinal round.
30 all.
Courier said they used to have contests to see who could hit the forehand the hardest. Andre or Wheaton or himself or Martin Blackman.
Who do you think won that, Bud?
I think the guy serving. But Courier wangs it.
So David Wheaton has an early break point here to open the 5th.
Wheaton doesn't have to hit the ball as hard as Agassi. He comes in behind it. He covers the net a lot better.
Game Wheaton.
So Wheaton breaks and takes the early lead in the 5th set.
First game, final set.
Wheaton, it continues on a positive note. A quick break of serve and takes a 1-love lead in the 5th. Neither man with a winning record in 5-set matches. Wheaton 3-4 lifetime, and despite all of Agassi's success, he's only 3-6 in 5-setters. Of course, he's lost recently in France in 5 in the French Open. Oh, there's a beautiful.
Well, Wheaton sees it coming a little too late. He should have done more with that first volley, but Agassi gets over there and holds that ball on his racket. Back, wait. At the last minute, flicks his wrist. Well timed.
Up. 15 all.
Just wide.
Oh, I thought he might have caught the line.
30-15.
Now, right here, Andre Agassi has to fight off the disappointment of the 4th set. He had the match in the bag. He should be off the court by now, but he's got to forget all that, get down to business, and break serve back right here.
Fourth time they've met, and Wheaton has a 2-1 edge. But this is the most important time they've played. Goes long.
40-15.
Andre had the whole left side of the court open.
Well, he knows he had a chance.
Bill Norris, the trainer, visited Andre after the first game. He's had 3 visits for trainers. You can see his right thigh strapped,
as it has been since late in the first set.
after 5 games.
When it appeared that he just wasn't going to be able to play up to any caliber and lost the first set 6-2. Double fault.
40-30.
Number 13. And whatever the problem was, he seemed to work it out as the double faults climb for Wheaton. And then just miraculously, Wheaton, his game went flying across the Atlantic, and Agassi became solid, and it was all Agassi for sets 2 and 3.
Oh, game Wheaton.
Call that an ace. Just caught the line. His 11th, and he leads 2 games to love in the 5th.
Wheaton leads 2 games to love. Final set.
Agassi, who has been in the finals of 3 Grand Slams, 2 French Opens, and 1 U.S. Open before.
Both these players have had
15 love.
conditioning coaches. We've talked about Gil Reyes, Andre's man, many times, but David had Sal Brandis, who also does the same thing for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Shows you how serious they are these days, Jimmy. Did you ever have a strength coach, a conditioning coach, besides your mother?
No, I mean, if she didn't get me in shape, nobody did. My grandfather, when he was alive, trained me like a boxer. He was a boxer in the old days, and that's the way he trained me. But outside of that, that's about it.
(30-15). (40-15).
You talked about Agassi being in the finals of Grand Slam events. David Wheaton wins this match. It will be his first trip to the semifinal.
Quarterfinalist at the U.S. Open last year, where John McEnroe, playing so hot, took him out.
Game Agassi.
2-1 Wheaton in the 5th.
Wheaton leads.
Wheaton leads 2-1. Agassi trying to find a way to get that break back.
Love 15.
Well, Wheaton's got to find a way to keep his concentration here. Going for a little bit too much on the second serve. He has to forget about the moment. He has to forget about this being the quarterfinals of Wimbledon and just take care of business at hand, and that's trying to win this tennis match.
14 double faults now for Wheaton.
All.
He likes that delicate little drop volley. It's been working for him.
Oh. Ace number 12.
30-15.
That statistic sometimes lies, though. You don't have to have big ace advantage to be an effective server or player.
Well, even though it helps, no doubt that it helps an awful lot, but it's what you do backing it up that really matters.
Oh! Wheaton back-to-back aces
40-15.
as his ace count and double fault count 13-14. So he's still in the minus pool, a -1 on service points in that regard.
Last time he was back-to-back, they were so important, saving 2 break points in that 7th game of the
Game
4th
Wheaton.
set.
Well, David Wheaton leads 3-1, and Andre Agassi now to the service line after 7 o'clock London time.
But the crowd's starting to get behind Agassi now.
Reminder, be with us tonight, 11:30 for our Wimbledon update show, and at 12:45 for the women's semifinal action. You will see David Wheaton's romance, whether it's a serious one or not, he will not admit, but Mary Jo Fernandez involved today against Steffi Graf. That match will be featured at 12:45. Haven't seen Mary Jo in the crowd. We've searched for her. Normally they watch each other's matches.
Well, everything that rolls off the Wheaton racket now is gold.
Mary Jo may be out playing doubles with Zina Garrison.
Oh, you're right, bud. That's right. That's exactly where she is.
All.
Good play by Agassi, taking the short ball, ripping his backhand up the line and moving in.
30 all at 1-3 in the fifth. And Wheaton already up a break in this fifth set. Has an opportunity now to really earn a comfortable lead.
Agassi's got to concentrate and fight his way out of this.
It's long, and Wheaton now jumps to a 4-1 advantage. The hopes of Andre Agassi and all of his fans in a match that has had such dramatic turnabouts. Wheaton starting strongly, then Agassi taking charge in second and third sets, and then Wheaton somehow finding a way to win a tiebreaker in the fourth, and now Wheaton up 2 breaks in the decisive fifth. He's found more to his game, and Andre Agassi stumbling in this final set.
And Wheaton held his serve in the fourth set to 3-4 from love 40. That was the critical game. 3 break points there. Andre would have been serving 5-3 for the match.
Andre a little frustrated now. He's going to look back on this match. If Wheaton does happen to win this and
30 love.
See one that slipped away.
One more point he needed there. Would have been serving at 5-3 for the match.
That's when Wheaton seemed to reach down and find the service game that had left him for so long.
Yeah, he had double faulted twice.
And now he's on a roll. 14 aces.
40 love. Game Wheaton.
So Agassi
Wheaton leads 5 games to 1.
deep down in the hole now at 1-5 in the fifth. David, that's a good name for a giant killer.
Thank you.
Wheaton, David Wheaton with victories over Yvonne Lendl, and now a game away from dismissing the number 5 seed Andre Agassi. 20th in the world at the start of Wimbledon, Wheaton.
Wheaton can't let down here. If he's going to win this match, he's got to stay in there and grind out every ball, every point like he has.
Well, just all you have to do is look at the way this match is swung on mood and momentum. You don't want it to go back to the other side.
30 love.
Good. That's the service return that knocked off Lendl.
30-15.
Well, he has such long reach. He moves in, steps in a good 2 or 3 feet inside the baseline to make the return.
40-15.
But playing in this game with the luxury of being 2 breakers up, Wheaton can afford to take chances. And
Game Agassi.
well, Agassi holds. It'll be Wheaton serving for the semis when we return. Completely covered with shadows except at the end, Royal Box End, where Agassi stands, and his shadow very long, down 2-5 in the fifth as Wheaton serves for the semis.
Wheaton's got the new balls again. That's going to stay a little bit lower and come off the grass faster. He gets in. He stays low, holds a good firm grip. He likes it.
That little drop half volley's been a good weapon.
30 left.
Agassi wishing that one in, and it was answered.
30-15.
Agassi lunging into another forehand. Winning return.
Fault.
Trying to still fire himself up to keep him in this match.
David Wheaton very nearly out of it in the middle of the fourth set, serving at low 40 with Agassi a chance to serve it out at 5-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
But Wheaton manages to recover, win a tiebreak.
Thank you.
And now, for the first time, it's Wheaton with the match on his racket.
David was wishing and hoping.
Well, here he is. He's admiring his shot. Agassi then chases it down and hoists an unbelievable topspin lob.
Five, please.
The man with the stars and stripes on his headband. I guess that's appropriate on this holiday. David Wheaton
7-6.
showing some guts today, as it seemed there was no way that he was going to be able to rally against the man Andre Agassi, who used a marvelous display of shot making despite a gimpy leg to all but win a fourth set and move on to the semis. But Wheaton recovered, used his power game, and it'll be David Wheaton in the semis tomorrow. And this crowd at center court saw a real American display of up and down and who's going to win tennis. Agassi says goodbye. He did play extremely well. He's an extraordinary talent in his first serious time on grass. And for David Wheaton, his story continues into the semis. Match point. Agassi a good return, but Wheaton with a winning volley. And a moment to remember as he has advanced to the Final Four at Wimbledon.
Well, tell us about your leg. What happened?
I think, well, I know it was in the first game, but I think the most damage came when I came down from hitting the first serve, and I felt something kind of tear inside, and I wasn't sure what it was, but it kept getting worse and worse by every step I took.
And how'd you come back and win the second and third sets?
I was just going on anything. I wasn't even thinking about continuing at one stage, but all through the first, I was wondering if I should just call it before it gets worse. But I think just the thrill of being there and knowing that I don't know anybody anything except to give them 100%.
Now you're up 4-2 in the fourth set, triple break point, and you serve for the match. What happened at that point?
That was unfortunate. At 2-4 love 40, he was serving in the fourth. He hit a few big serves, like 5 first serves in, and I didn't even get to return back. And so there's not actually the first 2 were aces, so there's not a whole lot you can do with that. And when I was serving for it at 6-5, I think I was so concerned with getting off the court and finishing the match that I may have rushed it a little bit.
Now, how'd you feel at the start of the fifth, mentally and physically?
The leg was getting worse as the match went along, and towards the fourth set it was getting bad, but the emotional high of almost having it over keeps you going. And I think when the fourth set ended, so did my hopes of winning.
Now the crowds have just loved you here. They gave you a standing ovation at the end. How'd that feel?
If there is any consolation, I would find it there.
Will you be back next year?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Andre, and now back to you, John Tesh.